Hello, hello, hello. I'm Silver Hypnosis. I know I'm not an AI. I know this is going to be really sad for some people that I'm not some robot that just makes hypnosis content, but no, I'm a person. This is what I look like. If you're wondering why I decided to suddenly buy a webcam and talk on camera and stuff, honestly, I was doing a lot of thinking about it, and I was really questioning, why I hadn't done it before. Part of it's because I'm a control freak, and so when I was starting out and insecure and super worried about what I was doing, um, I didn't want to show myself on camera. I didn't want to make myself the center of my content. I didn't want to be. I wanted my content to speak for itself. Part of that, again, is a control thing, but I was also more insecure about myself and how I looked, and things like that. Like I don't know. I feel like on some level I was a little more worried because I don't really see myself as a sex worker, even though I've made sexual content. Like, I've made sexual content in the past. I've made 18 plus files. But I don't really see myself as a sex worker. I don't see myself as, you know, a porn star. I don't make that kind of content. And I myself am not the focus. At least I don't think I'm the focus. I try not to make myself the star of what my stuff does. And I guess on some level I could just make a persona and go with that. But I guess part of it is again, I'm autistic, and so one of my things about being autistic is controlling my environment. So I end up doing things that's not particularly always helpful to me. Um the other reason is because I'm asexual, and so I don't particularly have or understand normal sexual urges. And so, for me, making adult content is a crapshoot. But that's really not what I want to talk about, other than the camera and doing kind of like a face reveal and saying, hey, this is me. Um, Here's what I'm about, and, here's my thoughts. Because ultimately, part of this is about, talking about me and the future and everything else. If you're worried that I'm going to stop making hypnosis content, you don't have to be worried, because that's not going to happen. I'm still going to make hypnosis content. Um, it's just that hypnosis content is consuming, I guess is the way to put it, because it takes a lot of work and I have a lot of standards. I've said before that I don't like remaking content. I don't like doing things again if I've not improved them. So if I haven't improved on a concept, I don't like redoing it. I don't like being one of those people who just puts out the same stuff over and over again, even if that's what my audience wants. Because there's a fair amount of people who just enjoy listening to the same thing over and over, and that's fine. Um, but I kind of, on some level, of a perfectionist. So yeah, so basically, just keep trying and making it work. Um, oh, that's a voice crack. That's the other thing about my voice, is that when I talk, uh, my voice is not all that strong, and so my voice cracks a lot. So I was always super paranoid about that. I was always super insecure about my voice. Um, but anyway, so another thing that I want to talk about is uh, I was really surprised how comfortable on camera I was. And I made a second channel. I started making videos on it, um, just talking about things that are interesting to me, which is normally comics and storytelling specifically, because I really enjoy structure. Again, autistic thing. I'm super interested in how structure of narratives and things work, and so I like talking about it. But it's also much easier. I don't know if that's normal, but it's so much easier to record 30 minutes of me just talking about something that I'm passionate about and interested in, um, than it is to sit down and script and record and then put it together. Um, and so it's a lot easier to put content out in that regard, but it also motivates me to do hypnosis content because I'm not beating myself up trying to be creative, is the way to put it. Part of it's also that I've kind of plateaued in the hypnosis community in terms of what I'm doing. Um, Part of that's just because of hypnosis content in general and the way that the community is moved and the interest in hypnosis and how it's moved. Part of it is a realization that uh I kind of want to also do new things, I mean, again, I still want to do hypnosis content, but I also kind of want to do other things. I want to be able to like connect with people because again, I've always been like super worried about parasocial relationships and like people engaging with me on that level because again, like most people who end up emailing me are looking for sexual things and I'm not particularly sexual. Like again, I'm asexual. I don't really have a sex drive comparatively. Um I don't really have any interest in that. So when I make that content, I'm always kind of like shooting in the dark. I'm just trying to like figure out what people enjoy. But when it comes to other like talking about things I'm interested in, it's much easier. So it's less like it's less it's less like self-doubt. It's less double like it's less like contradicting myself. I don't know the right term I'm trying to get at. Like I know it, but I can't think of it at the moment. Of like second guessing. That's what I'm getting at. It's less second guessing myself when I make content about things that I'm confident I can talk about. And so like, you know, I'll link my channel. If you want to you know, follow me there, that's fine. Um because it's much easier to put content out there and it's faster. Because I can just like talk about something and then keep going and then I don't have to worry about it. Um but, you know, like I still want to make hypnosis content and I want to engage with people, but I think part of my realization with like buying a camera and doing what I'm doing is an understanding that there are limits to not building something around yourself. There are limits to making content and not having the personal aspect to it. Like there are limits to what I've done. There are limits to how controlled I've been in terms of like making sure everything that I do is super contained. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically like not having the personal aspect limits my appeal, I think. And I've always kind of realized that, but I guess in the past my thinking was, you know, we don't really need another white guy like me who looks generic to be doing hypnosis content because there are dozens and dozens of just generic white dudes doing hypnosis content, and it's just, you know, why add to that? But on some level, my refusal to do that also means that no one develops a personal relationship with me, and so they don't, like, the viewer doesn't develop a connection with me as a person. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm probably not going to be making hypnosis content where I show myself hypnotizing people. That's not going to be me. At least I don't think it is. Not at the moment. But, you know, developing, I guess on some level, people need to develop a personal relationship, and I kind of got tired of this limit. Like, I kept running into this limit. Like, I want to engage with people, and there are limits to how people will engage with you when you're unwilling to, like, you're unwilling to show yourself, basically. And I guess on some level, like, I think much of what shaped me in the hypnosis community was my early experiences. So, like, when I first was exposed in the hypnosis community online, and specifically on YouTube, you know, this was back on old YouTube, where it was essentially, I don't want to say it was the Wild West, but it wasn't like today. Okay, today there's a community on various websites, and there's a community of people who are, I wouldn't say organized entirely, but there are individuals in the community who are big enough and talk regularly enough about, you know, abuses and things like that. When I started, there wasn't anything like that. In fact, when I started, it was fairly normal for, like, scumbag hypnotists to do things like send people scripts in in comments and like send people videos to try and trick them, and that still kind of happens a lot, but it happens less than it used to, which is good. But kind of like the community was more toxic, or I should say more openly toxic. It was more openly predatory, I want to say. And so like when I was getting involved in it, I was like, man, I really don't want to like, I wasn't certain about it. So I was like, I really don't want to like stick myself in here. I don't want to reveal too much about myself and things like that. It's why my policy is very specifically on I don't contact people, they have to contact me. So that nobody impersonates me, because that was a thing, and in fact it still is kind of a thing. In fact, I've had to like ban people from commenting on my videos because they make fake accounts claiming to be me and then trying to trans people. And that's a scummy thing to do, and you shouldn't do it. And so like, I really didn't want to reveal myself or put myself in a position where I would be like exploited, I guess. Like my biggest fear was people were going to take pictures of, like if I put a picture out of myself, people would take a picture of me and then make fake accounts and then claim to be me, and they could just still do that anyway. But again, it was a control thing from my autistic brain. So again, it's really just a control thing. But now that I think on it more, the personal relationship and kind of like between content creator and viewer is a lot more important. And so I'm not going to make, I'm not going to make audio files where I'm like staring into the camera, because that's just not what I want to do. But, I think it's important for people to know things and have a kind of like normal relationship, or at least kind of trusting relationship with the people they're listening to, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making a whole lot of sense here, because I'm kind of just like throwing my thoughts out. So, like, again, I made a second channel. I started recording things. It's much easier to record on a second channel where I'm just recording things I'm interested in. I'll link that. And, I'm much more comfortable on camera than I thought I was going to be. I really thought I was going to be, like, super uncomfortable on camera. And I'm not. And I've kind of come to the decision that, it's okay to be myself, and it's okay to be open about what I'm doing, because if I'm not confident in what I'm doing, why am I doing it? Like, what's so wrong about what I'm doing? Is it weird? Yeah. But you know what? There are lots of weird stuff. And, I shouldn't be ashamed of what I've done, because I'm pretty proud of what I've done. I built a business, I'm making a decent income thanks to all of you. And I'm eternally grateful for that. So again, I'm not going to stop making hypnosis content. But, I also kind of want to do other things. I want to explore and keep improving and keep growing as a person. And I want to keep making content. I want to make lots of kinds of content. And I don't want to throw all that on this channel because, throwing that all on this channel would be wrong and also not what people come here for. So, again, I'll link my second channel. If you want to come and view my thoughts on things as I do vlogs and talk about stuff, you can do that. So yeah, I'm going to be interested in hearing people's feedback on this update, because I've never showed myself on camera before. So now this is a big step for me, and getting over my need to be in control of everything. So hopefully your reaction isn't, my God, he's hideous, which I don't think is going to be your reaction, but hopefully that's not going to be, people aren't going to be like, well, now that I know, can't listen to you anymore. The voice is ruined forever. My fantasy is ruined. Hopefully that's not the case. So I'm hoping to move forward and keep doing new things. And I hope that you, people who listen to me, will follow me along with it. basically. I hope that you'll continue to enjoy my content and continue to enjoy what I'm doing and continue to support me as I continue to make content. Again, I have some hypnosis files that are coming down the pipeline that I've kind of scripted. They're basically got the bare bones scripted of them at now. So those should be coming out pretty soon. They need a little refinement, is a way to put it, but then they'll be released hopefully in the next couple days. So again, thank you for supporting me. I'll link my second channel. And just take care of yourselves, guys. Thanks for supporting me. It means the world to me, especially in these times of COVID and everything else, when life's hard. It means a lot to me. It means more than I really can express. Like, I'm not usually very good with emotions and not very good at expressing myself, but yeah, it means more than I can reasonably express. And I hope that, my revealing myself on camera hasn't like completely destroyed your desire to like support me. So yeah, take care of yourselves, guys. See y'all later.